So this is Kurt Stone and his garden, an urban farm that he started. He's going to tell us a little bit about what he's doing and how he got started. Give us a little tour of the garden.
Okay. So this is the main site where I grow most of my salad greens, and because I do everything by bike, I try to keep all my salad greens and like intensive crops close to where I live. I live here now, so I do have some other greens and stuff, a couple around the blocks here, but most of the intensive stuff is here, so it's quicker for me to get. It's more high maintenance, and so I can spend more time here without being far away, and so I can take breaks and whatnot.
So do you want to give us a tour of the garden and show us what you're growing?
Okay, sure. So we've got some spinach here. This is another succession of spinach, so that'll be ready in a couple more weeks by the time this one's done. This is some arugula that I planted last Monday. I'm growing pretty fast. Some parsley, some beets, some more spinach, basil. These beds here are just lettuce that I planted just a couple days ago. And the front yard's more various salad greens and herbs. There's some dill here, mizuna and mustard together. Red lettuce and some cilantro and more dill coming up there. Mustard greens, different lettuces, some head lettuce, that's what those transplants are there. And then that stuff under the row cover is radish, and some more, or less arugula there on the side. So, like I was saying, how the salad greens are kind of my most lucrative stuff, so I need them close to me. So, when I harvest for restaurants in the morning, I can just get up, cut the stuff, and then deliver to the restaurants. And that's mostly what they order. Sometimes they order things like beets and onions and squash and stuff like that, but mostly they order greens for me. So
how many restaurants are you supplying?
There's 5 really consistent ones, and there's 3 other ones that are kind of every now and then they order stuff.
And then you also sell to the farmers market?
Yeah, and I'm at the market every Wednesday and Saturday.
So this site here, it used to be, there was a house that was here.
Yeah, so you can't really tell anymore, but there was a house right in the center of this, and it burned down, and it was condemned for a while, and then they tore it down, and this was just a big gaping hole about a year ago, and I had to get a bobcat and fill it in. And then at the same time, I used that bobcat to tear off all the grass in here and everything, and I pushed it in the hole and covered it over, and then I had to bring in some topsoil to make this plantable, because it was pretty hard-packed ground that didn't really have a lot going on for it.
And then you built the greenhouse yourself as well?
Yep. Yeah, I built the greenhouse out of a lot of salvage stuff. I mean, obviously the PVC pipe and the plastic I had to buy.
Maybe you can show us the greenhouse and your office space.
Sure.
That's a converted garage.
There's not much in the greenhouse now. Any transplants I do now, I just put outside because it's too hot in here. It gets like 40 degrees in here. I had another table, which is that one that's outside, that goes in here. As we started planting stuff in the spring, we just started with these tables, and then we wanted to plant more stuff, so we just kept building it up and then putting stuff underneath too, and we just stacked. I think I can fit about, 9,000 different things in here at once, just stacking it.
And then this is the bike that you use to transport everything.
Yeah, I even use this bike to transplant most of the greenhouse materials, except the piping. I had to get a guy bring that to me in his truck because it's too long to fit on the bike. But yeah, I can take pretty much everything on here. I go to the market on Saturdays and I take all my gear in there. And I stack it up with about, I can fit about 12 of these, 3 high, 4 long, with produce, which is about 400 or 500 pounds of stuff. And that's pretty maxed out. That's fucking heavy. Some carrots and beets I just harvested from a place down in the north end. Kind of stumpy carrots. This is a mess. I don't even know what this one is. But yeah, this is where I do all of my processing.
You have a cooler here.
Got a cooler here. Keep all the stuff in here when I harvest it. Keeps it nice and cool for the. It only stays in there for a couple days, anyways. This is my rototiller. I take this on my bike too, actually, on that trailer when I need to. And yeah.
And these are your compost piles?
Yep.
So you use this for your building the soil?
Yep. Got a bit of a rotation. The 2 ones on the end are the oldest ones. And then this is the newest one. This one, oh, it looks like somebody put some stuff on top of it. Maybe they shouldn't have, but it doesn't matter. And yeah, this is compost I bought. I actually can't physically get enough compost out of what I turn over for the amount that I use, so I have to buy some of it from the local landfill. It's called Glenmore Grow, and it's okay. I got a guy who gives me a deal. He has a truck. He has like a dump truck company, and he likes what I do, so he gives me a deal and brings it to me for cost, which is great. Mm-hmm. I also collect coffee grounds. It's actually one of my main fertilizers. It's really rich in nitrogen, so I use that on stuff. Every time I plant a new bed, I mix coffee grounds with bone meal and blood meal and some feed stuff like alfalfa pellets and dried molasses. I mix that together and I sprinkle that on the bed, and then I till that in, and then I cover it with a layer of compost, which is, you can see here what it's done. And I kind of see that as sort of mimicking what happens in nature, where you've got the humus layer in the forest. You've got that layer of just like leaves and fallen debris, which is that keeps moisture in the soil. And so the compost gives nutrients to the soil, but also acts as a mulch, keeping the moisture inside, kind of keeping the temperature a bit more regulated too.
So why did you start doing all of this?
Well, there's a lot of reasons, but I think the main one was I just saw how our society is on a fast track to self-destruction, and it's basically this hyper-consumerist capitalist society we live in is based on exponential growth, but we're on a finite planet, and there's only so many resources we have, and so I didn't really want to be part of that system anymore. I kind of wanted to see if I could change my life, at least by feeding myself, to be sort of more a part of the solution. And then I thought, well, I heard about this spin farming thing from a friend, and I thought, wow, I think I could actually make a living at this. So I just kind of tried it, and it turns out I can. I'm actually doing pretty well. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but I mean,